So Jane, first regatta of the year. How do you feel about today's performances overall?
Oh, I feel pretty good. I think that it was a good race to have before San Diego, and they had to handle some pretty challenging conditions. I mean, it was a pretty steady 10-mile-an-hour wind and pretty severe chop in the first 1,000. So I think, they were definitely tested, and I think that they executed most of the things that we wanted to get out of it. Still got to work on a couple things, and luckily we have another week before we leave for San Diego. So.
Okay, you talked about the conditions. Can you give us a little perspective on how that affects a race with time and effort once you get into it?
Yeah, well, it's definitely challenging because if you think about the freeboard on the eights is probably only 6 or 8 inches, and a lot of the waves were cresting 6 inches, and so one false move and quite a bit of water goes into boats, and so we're kind of hoping that the timing is really good so that the boats stay as level as possible so that less water enters. And it is an outdoor sport, and it is ever changing, and we never have a roof on these things. So, the NCAA championships is just as likely to be windy, and so, the more opportunities you have to test yourself in challenging circumstances, I think the better.
Okay. How do you think this regatta will prepare you for the season with what you faced today and what you got going forward?
Well, I think it's just we got the first race under our belt, and the learning curve after the first race is usually really steep. Like it's like, oh yeah, we could say things over and over again in practice, but until they actually feel it, and I know that one of our boats we really need to work on some balance issues, and I think that was pretty evident to all of them today, and I think it sort of refocuses the efforts to fix the problems that we can fix as quickly as possible, rather than just sort of, you get lulled when you're not racing. You get lulled into kind of a false sense of security where it's okay, it's not urgent, but then you get out and you race, and then you realize that, if we want to be 5-10 seconds faster, this is something that we're going to have to fix. And, there's time. There's lots of time.